Fast, urban, tribal, universal, that's globalization. And of course it's developing a worldview which is global from the start. I'm horrified by people who come out of schools, high schools, universities around the world who seem to have no real connection with anything other than the town where they lived and a few baseball teams or football teams in my country. You know, you can have foresight, but foresight without insight is useless. We need insight as well into the why these things are happening. Not what might happen, but why. Outsourcing is a very big issue. And outsourcing will be driven by education. We already heard a little bit about it. Actually, if you look at engineering diploma holders, that's 16 million rather than just 870,000. And if you look at software professionals, you find that 840,000 of them emerged from Indian universities, most of them with very high grades. That compares to only 6,500 in my country last year. We need to prepare people for virtual management, virtual team, virtual working. Many of the people you teach will be people that I perhaps talk to later on, or typical of them. And in their adult lives, many of their forebears are already spending 6 weeks a year cruising at 35,000 feet, making globalization work. I often say, put your hands in the air if you've doubled the amount of travel that you've done in the last 2 years. They all put their hands up. Some of you too. I say, right, so what's your plan when you're doing 12 weeks a year at 35,000 feet? And the year after that, what happens then? We're still playing at globalization. We've yet to understand how to manage our global village. And we need new models, new methods of managing people. And that would include Clinton-esque type ability to communicate. Clinton, I think, was nothing to do about his politics. But Clinton as one of the most adept performers I've ever seen in terms of the ability to help people to feel connected with him on the other end of a TV lens, even if there's 50 million of them watching the same broadcast. Now that kind of skill is going to be a #1 career-setting winner in the future for obvious reasons. The ability to command empathy, personality, to project passion and enthusiasm over very long distances. And that's why these kinds of virtual environments are really important. These kind of things where kids in many different towns and cities can all link together in virtual communities. And the technology is here, it costs nothing. This is my own studio in my own house with the four images. You can run this 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. It costs you nothing, of course, just using broadband. Meetings will always matter, but it's easy to imagine a world where we do 30% less of them with a 60% increase in productivity. I do believe we have a profound requirement to bring business into the classroom and bring a few realities there.